I'm going to share a little bit about some of the other information you'll find on the label of the paints that you're purchasing. This one here indicates that it's a heavy body paint, which indicates also that it is a thicker, more pasty kind of paint that will hold a peak better, where other paints will level out. This is marked as semi-transparent, and this one is marked as transparent. These are Utrecht paints, and they're pretty good paints. I've enjoyed them. They're made in Brooklyn, New York, sold down in Detroit area. So when I make it down that way, I like to purchase these. But you can purchase them online. You can purchase them on Dick Blick, as a matter of fact. But the thing about this particular brand is it'll just mark it as semi-transparent and transparent. Now, as opposed to, these are Liquitex paints. You have an indication down here that it is translucent, and it gives you a little square. And there are other brands that use this method too. So translucent is half black, half white. This one is, let's just see real quick, this one is opaque, so it's all black. And then this one is transparent, so it's all white. So if you're ever curious about, you know, what you're going to see and what you're not going to see on these colors, this is a good way to check them when you're out shopping for them at the stores. A transparent color means when I brush it on, I'm going to see through that color to the color underneath of it. A semi-translucent color means that you'll get some of that effect, but not nearly as much as from a transparent color. And then the opaque means you're not going to see through this color. It's going to cover whatever you put this on top of. So these colors that are transparent, you can use over the top of things and just alter the shades a bit rather than losing the painting that you've already started with. Okay, so that's a really great thing to know about the paints, and it's good for you to play with your paints and then learn, you know, which ones act in which ways, so that when you combine them, you know what's going to happen when you combine them as well. So if I mix a transparent with a semi-transparent, then this semi-transparent is going to become more transparent. And if I were to mix this transparent color with this opaque color, then I would have something that would be now semi-transparent. Now I'm going to show you, by painting over this board, I'm going to show you how these colors then look once they're painted over something. So I'm going to start by using this turquoise color, and it is a semi-transparent color. And so I'm going to just start up here in this corner and paint over a little bit. And you can see then what's happening is I am painting over it, but you can see the design that's been painted underneath of it very nicely. So the second color I'm going to experiment with here is the Violet Permanent in Utrecht colors, and it is transparent. So this is semi-transparent and this is transparent. And you'll notice the difference here. So you can see there is a little bit of coverage over these black lines with the turquoise, but with the violet, the black lines look just like they did before I painted them. Let's do some more here. So when you're using a transparent color, it's a great way then to unify a piece that may not look like it's coming together. If I just put some of this violet over it, pretty much here and there, covering the things that stand out maybe too much. Then you'll begin to see how now this piece, at least as a background, has come together and looks a little more unified because of what I've done up here already. If I continue to do some of that down here, you'll see more of that effect. Now I'm going to clean my brush out real quick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now work with that black, which is the opaque color, remember? So as I'm attempting to put the black over the top of what I already painted, you can see that that paint underneath was still wet. So instead of applying paint, it was actually lifting the paint off. So I had to go back in a couple of times to get a little bit thicker paint so that it would actually cover the area. There we go. So when you add water to your brush, you're actually thinning it down. And when you thin down your paint, you are making it more transparent, but you're also losing some of the adhesive. And what will happen is then it's not creating a real nice skin for you. So you can see as I'm using this black, it is covering up whatever is underneath of it. You're not seeing through it anymore. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of that violet color and we'll see what happens. So you see the black is still pretty dominant there. Now I'm going to go into the turquoise. We'll see what happens there. And now you're not seeing through that nearly as much as you did before either with the black in it. But with the white underneath rather than the dark blue, with the white underneath you can see that you can still see that white kind of peering through it, which gives the turquoise more of its own flavor there. So I'm not thinking about this piece as something that I'm working on to create something. This was an offloading board, so it has all these crazy colors. I also did some demonstrations on this board in one of my classes, and so there's all these wild colors everywhere. What I'm trying to do here is just really kind of unify into a color scheme of some sort. I don't have to completely cover my red or my violet, but I want everything to look like it kind of goes together and it's one thing, so that if I did pick this up and want to paint on it, it's got some sort of unifying factor.